All right, let's dive into Total Quality Management, or TQM. It's a really powerful framework that businesses use to strive for excellence. And to guide us through this, we're going to be drawing on the work of Rakibul Islam, a quality management professional from Bangladesh who brings over 15 years of hands-on experience to the table. So, let's get started.
Here's the game plan. We'll kick things off by defining what total quality even means. Then, we'll get into the mindset behind it all with the Kaizen philosophy. After that, we'll look at a system called 5S for organizing the workplace, see how to empower teams with quality control circles, and finally, we'll wrap up with the essential data tools that make all of this possible.
Okay, first things first. What exactly is total quality management? To get a really solid, authoritative answer, let's not just rely on any old definition. Let's go straight to one of the most respected sources in the entire field.
And here it is, from the Deming Prize Committee. This is really our foundation. Now, I know, that's a bit of a mouthful, right? There is a ton packed into that one sentence. So let's pull it apart and look at the key pieces.
So what does this all mean in practice? Well, systematic activities tells us this isn't random, it's an organized effort, and it has to be led from the top. Entire organization is huge. This means everybody, from the mailroom to the boardroom, is involved. It's not just the job for the quality department. And the goal? It's all about long-term success, which comes from delivering real quality, meaning products and services that are usable, reliable, and safe enough to keep customers satisfied.
So now we know what TQM is. But what's the philosophy that actually powers it? What's the engine that makes it go? This is where we need to talk about a really powerful concept called Kaizen.
Kaizen is a Japanese word. Kai means change, and Zen means good. So literally, it means change for good. But the philosophy is so much deeper. It's all about creating a culture of continuous improvement. And here's the key part. It involves everybody, every single day, in every part of the organization.
And this brings up a really common misunderstanding. A lot of people hear Kaizen and think it's just a tool, or maybe some kind of special event you do once a year. But that's a myth. The reality is, Kaizen is a way of thinking. It's a commitment to being on a never-ending journey of getting just a little bit better all the time.
So how does this journey actually work? Well, it's not random. It's powered by two cycles that work together. First, you use the SDCA cycle. That's standardize, do, check, act, to lock in your current best process, make it stable. Once it's stable, you switch to the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. That's where you actively look for ways to improve on that standard. It's like a constant upward spiral of getting your process stable, then making it better. Okay. So you've got the Kaizen mindset. That's fantastic. But you also need a physical environment that actually supports quality and efficiency. So the question is, how do you organize your workspace to eliminate waste? The answer is a system called 5S.
5S is basically a 5-step method for creating a workplace that's clean, organized, and super efficient. You start with sort, which is getting rid of junk you don't need. Then you set an order, a place for everything and everything in its place. Third is shine, which means cleaning up. Then you standardize those first 3 steps so they become routine. And finally, sustain, which is all about building the self-discipline to keep the system going.
And check out this brilliant visual from Rakibul Islam. It's called the fan model, and it's a perfect analogy. Think about it. Top management commitment is the power supply. The 5S principles themselves are the motor and the fan blades. And when you plug it all in and turn it on, you get this amazing wind-blowing outcome. A workplace that's safer, has better team spirit, and delivers speed and satisfaction. It just makes sense.
An organized workspace is a huge step. But let's be real. TQM is all about people. A great system is nothing without engaged employees. So, how do you empower the people in that space to actually drive quality forward? This brings us to the human element, the quality control circle.
A quality control circle, or QCC, was pioneered by Dr. Karu Ishikawa. The idea is simple but so effective. It's a small group of employees, usually from the same department, who get together voluntarily to identify and solve problems related to their own work. It's about putting power in the hands of the people on the front lines.
And why is this so effective? Well, the logic is undeniable. The people who are closest to the work are the real experts on that work. When you empower them to solve their own problems, you unlock so much potential. It builds teamwork, it boosts morale, it creates this incredible sense of ownership, and the best part? It leads to smarter, real-world improvements in safety, efficiency, and, the overall quality of everything.
Okay, so let's take stock. We've got the philosophy, an organized workspace, and empowered teams.
what's the last piece of the puzzle? We need to give those teams the right tools to make decisions based on data, not just on hunches or guesswork.
First up, the Pareto chart. This is all about the 80-20 rule, the idea that roughly 80% of your problems are caused by just 20% of the causes. This chart helps you see that visually. It separates the vital few issues from the trivial many, so you can stop wasting time on small stuff and focus your energy where it will have the biggest possible impact.
So, once your Pareto chart tells you what your biggest problem is, the next question is why it's happening. For that, you use a cause and effect diagram, which you might also hear called a fishbone or Ishikawa diagram. It's a fantastic brainstorming tool that helps a team map out all the potential root causes of a problem in an organized way.
Now, in visualizing data, you gotta use the right chart. Here's a common mix-up, the bar chart versus the histogram. They might look similar, but they're for totally different things. A bar chart is for comparing separate categories, like defects per machine. See the gaps between the bars? A histogram, though, shows you the shape of continuous data, like the measurement of a part. The bars all touch because the data flows from one value to the next. It's a crucial difference.
And finally, there's the control chart. Think of this as the heartbeat monitor for your process. It tracks performance over time and tells you the difference between normal, predictable variation, what we call common cause, and special cause variation. That's when a data point goes way outside the lines, signaling that something unusual has happened and you need to go investigate right away.
And this quote really brings us full circle. It's from Taiichi Ohno, the father of the Toyota production system, and it's so powerful. Where there is no standard, there can be no Kaizen. It's a fundamental truth. You simply cannot improve a process that you haven't first made stable and predictable. Standardization is the absolute bedrock of continuous improvement.
So, as you can see, TQM isn't just a buzzword. It's a complete framework, from the high-level philosophy all the way down to the practical tools you can use on the shop floor. It's a systematic way to pursue excellence, which really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Now that you have this framework, what is the first vital few problem your organization can tackle?